Hey guys, ADHD here. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how to build the awesome Iron Man survival house that I showed you guys a couple days ago. If you guys are watching this one, you guys could also you might like the Captain America one I did. I also did a Deadpool one. And for those of you guys that keep asking, this is the X-Force version of the same. I didn't really upload this one. It's just kind of like something I did for myself because I really like the character. I made a X-Force version, and to do that, all you have to do is change the red to gray and the eyes from white to red, and then I made the X-Men logo rather than the Deadpool logo. Yeah, that's really what that is. So you guys can stop asking what that is now. But anyway, let's get started on the Iron Man statue, guys. As always, guys, if you guys actually build this, feel free to send me a picture of it on Twitter or Instagram. I'd love to check it out. So for this build, you are going to need netherrack. You're going to need yellow wool. You're going to need red wool. Red stained clay. You're also gonna need light blue stained glass. If you don't have light blue stained glass, I know on Pocket Edition you only have regular glass. Just go ahead and use regular glass. It works the same way. Sea lanterns. If you don't have that, you can use glowstone, and also polished andesite or stone. But anyway, let's go and get started on this. Let's go. Okay, so Iron Man is a very textured character. So there's a lot of different, we're going to be switching between blocks quite a lot, especially at the beginning here. As always, if you guys feel like I'm going too fast at any point in the video, you can always pause and rewind the video to make sure that you're on track. But anyway, let's get started. So starting with the red wool, we're going to place one, and then going to the right, it's going to be a yellow wool, then a red wool, then a space of two, then it's going to be one red wool, one yellow wool, one red wool. So right here we're working on the torso, then we're going to do the arms, and then we'll do the head to finish it up. Okay, so right here we have this right here, and then the next row is going to be one nether brick, two red wool, 1, 2, a space of two red wool, then a nether brick. Next row, it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to go over this door hole at this time. So it's going to be one red wool, one nether brick, one yellow wool, two red wool, one yellow wool, one nether brick, and a one red wool. The next row is going to be one yellow wool, two red wool, two nether brick, then then it's going to be two red wool, then one yellow wool. Kind of got lost there for a second. Then the next row is going to be just like this. It's going to be one red wool, one yellow wool, four red wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, one yellow wool, then one red wool. Then the next row we're going to be changing it up a little bit. We're going to be doing two red wool, one red stained clay, two glass of your choice, light blue glass if you have it. Then it's going to be one red stained clay, then two red wool. Next row is going to be one red wool, one red stained clay, four glass of your choice, one red stained clay, then one red wool. Then the next row is going to be all red wool. Alright, then the next row after that is going to be one nether brick, one yellow wool, one nether brick, two red wool, 1, 2, then one nether brick, one yellow wool, then one nether brick. Okay, so that is basically just our front right here. So now we're going to start on the back real quick. So for the back, what you're going to do is go ahead and go from, it doesn't really matter where you start from, just take this whole area and bring it back 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block is where we're going to start our next row. And for this row, we're going to go with this, guys. It's going to be a total of 3 yellow wool, 1, 2, 3. Then it's going to be 2 red wool, 1, 2. Or I'm sorry, guys, I messed up here. It's actually going to be 1 red wool, 2 yellow wool, 2 red wool, 2 yellow wool, then 1 red wool. Sorry about that. So again, it's 1 red wool, 2 yellow wool, 2 red wool, 2 yellow wool, then 1 red wool. Okay, then the next row, guys, would be 1 nether brick, 2 yellow wool, 2 red wool, 2 yellow wool, then 1 nether brick. Okay, the next row is going to be 1 red wool, 2 yellow wool, 2 red wool, 2 yellow wool, 1 red wool. Alright, and then the next row is going to be 2 red wool, 1, 2, 1 yellow wool, 2 red wool, 1 yellow wool, then 2 red wool. And then the next row is going to be the exact same thing. So just mimic that exact row again. Alright, so now we're going to be changing the block up right here. Let me go ahead and move my stuff around to make this a little bit easier. It's going to be just like this. It's going to be 1 polished andesite, or stone if you have it, 2 red wool, 2 yellow, or not red wool, I'm sorry, 2 nether brick. Then 2 red brick, or nether brick, and then 1 polished andesite. Then the next row is going to be 1 nether brick, 1 red wool, 1 nether brick, 2 yellow wool, 1 nether brick, 1 red wool, 1 nether brick. Alright, then the next row is going to be pretty much the exact same thing, but just no yellow wool this time. So it's going to be 1 nether brick, 1 red wool, 1 nether brick. Kind of hard switching back and forth. 2 red wool, 1 nether brick, 1 red wool, 1 nether brick. Then the next row is the exact same thing to finish it up. Just copy the line we just did. Okay, so this is what you should have right here. This is the body, basically. So now all we have to do is get started on the, basically just the side, or not the side, but the, what am I trying to say here? Basically just like the arms, and we'll do that next. So let's get started on the arms. Okay, so after looking at it, I think we should actually do the head first, just to make this a little bit easier. So what we're going to do for the head is all you're going to do is come to the front right here, and go to this little part where the jaw is, or I guess where the chest is, I guess, and put 1 nether brick, then do 1 in front of that, and do the same thing on this side. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to get a red wool in the front of that and bring it all the way across. Well, not all the way across. It's going to be 1 red wool, 1 nether brick, 4 yellow wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 nether brick, then 1 red wool. So it should look like this. That part was a little bit confusing. And then below it, red wool. This just to get our surface so we can start building up from here. So that's what it should look like. Okay. And you guys take a look from the top too to make sure you have it. Then the next row is going to be 1 red wool, 1 nether brick, 1 yellow wool, 2 nether brick, 1 yellow wool, 1 nether brick, then 1 red wool. Then the next row is going to be 1 red wool. Then it's going to be a total of 6 yellow wool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 red wool. Then the next row is going to be all yellow wool. Alright, then the next row is going to be 1 yellow wool, 2 glass of choice, 2 yellow wool, 2 glass of choice, then 1 yellow wool. Then the next row is going to be 1 nether brick, 6 yellow wool, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 nether brick. Then the next row is going to be 1 red wool, 2 yellow wool, 2 nether brick, 2 yellow wool, then 1 red brick. Or 1 red wool. I'm just getting like so many blocks in this build. And the next row is going to be just like this. It'll be 1 red wool, 2 yellow, 2 red, 2 yellow, and 1 red. Alright, that was quite a lot. That was just Iron Man has a lot of blocks. Well, not a lot of blocks, but a lot of switching between blocks. Okay, so now that we've done this, we're going to go ahead and get started with the actual like piece that's like his little, kind of like the decal art design, but I'm trying to say like the, what am I trying to look for the words? I don't know. Just like the design, I guess, in his head, like in his helmet. So what you're going to do is go ahead and add to these nether bricks we have, add 1, then go diagonal, and then add another one. Kind of looks like that. Kind of looks hard to explain. Then go diagonal and add 2. Diagonal to the left of that and add 2. Then diagonal in the middle, just like this. Okay, then on top of that, you're going to want to do a row of 2. And then on both sides of that, add 2 more. It should connect back to the mask, okay? And then once you've done that on this side, go diagonal 1 as well. Alright, and again, that's kind of hard to explain, like I said, but it's, you kind of see what I did here. And then come on the other side, just get this part of the way, and just mimic what we just did on that side. So all you're going to do is just mimic the exact same thing. Just look over there, and you can see exactly what you did. Here's to do it again. And again, if this part's a little bit confusing, you could just look at, pause and look at what I have, and you can copy it like that if that helps you out more. Okay, so I'll take a look back up so you guys can take a look at that. Alright, and then once you've done that, what you're going to do is on this part right here, you're going to take this red wool all the way until you're 1 block off the back. And do the same thing on this side. Then connect those. Then what I want you guys to do is on both of these back pieces, go up by 7 red wool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that will be the 5th, and 6th, and 7. And then the same thing on this side. So just go all the way up until you're at the same height as the front. Really, that's the easiest way to explain it. Then go to connect the side in the front, or the top, or the back in the front, just like this with the red wool. And then once you have done this, all we're going to do is this, guys. All you have to do is just go ahead and add 1 red wool row to the bottom, or the top, I mean, and the bottom. And then once you've done that, all you have to do is just go ahead and fill in everything else with the red wool. So everything else you don't see except for that back. If you're going to turn this into a house, you're going to want to leave that there because that's where our window is going to go. So you want to just leave that open, but the sides and this top, I don't even know why I'm like talking. I was going to skip ahead, but I'm going to just go ahead and fill it in with you guys. It's not going to take that long. Normally I'd skip ahead. I just explain it and skip ahead, but why not? It's not going to take us that long. So just going to do it with you guys. And then over here, do the same thing and fill in with the red wool. All right. And then once we've done that, this is what it should look like. So let's go ahead and do the little side piece right here first. All you're going to do on this piece is you're going to take these blocks right here. Just take this out of the way because we're almost done. Let me see how high it goes on this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what you want to do on the side right here, guys, is take this red wool and bring it across. Then take the netherrack and bring it across. Take the red wool, bring it across. Take the yellow wool, bring it across. Then bring the red wool across. Okay, so now that we have the head on, we have the torso 100% completed now. And the reason why I say 100% is because these parts that aren't covered right now, they're going to be filled in with the arms. They're going to be covered by the arms once we add them. So now we have this done. Let's add our arms. Okay, so what we're going to do for the left arm is you're going to get your red wool out, guys. And on top here, you want to go to this netherrack right here and bring it out 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there, you want to bring all these out, a total of 4. Or a total of, yeah, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that you have that, or actually bring out one more. So just like that. Alright, so it should match up with this little, L we have here at the netherrack. Alright, and then once you've done that, all you're going to do is just basically box this down. So on the corners, just bring it down by 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then just go ahead and do down here too. 1, 2, 3. This corner as well. 1, 2, 3. Then just connect them all. All we're doing is just basically turn this into a box. Just filling all this in with red wool. But I'm going to go ahead and do it real quick. So once you have it all connected like this, just fill in everything else with red wool. You can leave this side open just because, yeah, we're going to need that. So leave that side open, the front, but not everything else. Everything else fill in with the red wool. So it should look just like this. So it's just red wool, like basically a big red wool box from the back of his torso all the way to this L-shaped, design in his mask. Okay, then once you've done this, we're going to go ahead and follow along with me, guys, just like this. It's going to be red wool, 2 yellow, red wool, then it's going to be red wool all the way down to the bottom. Then in these 2 middle blocks, do yellow. Then you're going to go around with 2 rows of yellow wool. Alright, and then once you've done that, go around the entire thing with 1 row of red wool. Then 1 row of yellow wool. Then you're going to do a total of, I believe 3, but let's count it out. Yeah, 3 rows of the red wool. But this is going to be a little bit different. So basically the first row is all red wool. Then the next row is red wool. Then the side piece right here, both these side pieces you want to have glass pieces just like this. Any glass you want. And then finish it off with red wool just like this. And then go ahead and add your lanterns and these 4 blocks right here. So all 4 of these blocks. Or technically 8 blocks, space right there. So it should look just like this. Okay? And we're going to add the lanterns and those pieces later, but we're going to go ahead and do this for right now just because that finishes up the arm for us. Alright, so now we have the left arm done. Let's go ahead and add the right arm. Okay, guys, so for the right arm, what we're going to do is this. You want to get your yellow wool, and on this yellow block right here, it's this one right here, right above the netherrack. Take this to the right, a total of 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then take that all the way down with yellow wool as well. Alright, then take that yellow wool, this corner right here, and bring it back a total of 4 blocks, or 3 blocks, yeah, maybe 4 blocks. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you've done that, connect that to the torso. Just like this. So it should look just like that, really simple. Now what I want you guys to do is come back to this top area right here, and on these 2 top areas of the torso, go ahead and do 4 rows of red wool that connect them to each other. Alright, and then once you've done that, you're going to fill in this entire area with red wool except for this front little hole right here. You can fill in this spot right here, but it doesn't really matter. So just fill this whole area right here in with the red wool. I'm going to go ahead and just do it with you guys just because this part, again, it's not going to take that long. And I also want to make sure everybody sees it. This part of this arm is definitely the hardest, so excuse me for being, a little bit quieter than normal just because I'm trying to make sure everything here is correct. I'm looking at my notes and stuff, but the right arm is always, on this type of house that I do, is like always the most annoying because it's the easiest to mess up. Alright, so then finish this with the red wool. So it should look just like this. Alright, perfect. So you guys should be good. And then what I want you guys to do is on this row right here, these 2 blocks right here in between the little opening we left, go ahead and add a yellow wool, 2 yellow wool right there. Then the next row, you're going to go in these 4 blocks right here. You're going to go ahead and just add a yellow row, just like this. So we just added yellow, basically a 4x4, square into this arm right here. So just like we did over there, but we're adding it to this piece. Okay, then next you're going to go and do another row of red wool. Then you're going to do a row of yellow wool. And again, feel free to rewind that part. That part got a little confusing. That arm is always confusing, you know, so don't worry about it. Then the next row is going to be another row of red wool. Then again, it's going to be the little glass pieces for this one. So I do the top row, just red wool. Then the bottom row, just red wool. And then 2 glasses of choice on both sides. Then do another row of red wool. And then once you've done that, again, go and get your lanterns or your glowstone and fill in this area. Make sure you're covering the windows though. Okay, so that's what it should look just like this. And let me go ahead and add the door real quick, just to get that out the way because it's kind of annoying without the door there. So let me go ahead and add the door. And then, well, let's go inside first. And then what you're gonna do is come back here to all these glass areas, just go ahead and put a lantern or a glowstone in those spots that the window's covering. All right, and then once you're done with that, then come back out here and go ahead and put the doors. All right, so this is actually the Iron Man, you know, house area, but we're gonna go ahead and finish up the entire, you know, design real quick, and then we're gonna go to work on the little, you know, plasma, you know, like arc reactor blast he shoots. So for the back, you're gonna want to get some white stained or white glass panes out, and if you don't have white stained glass, again, you can just use regular glass. I'm just gonna use the blocks just because it's a little bit easier to place for the tutorial's sake, but if you want to use glass panes, it'll look a lot better. Alright, and then once you have that finished, we are actually done with the physical house. All we have to do now is add these little plasma, you know, like, I don't know what to call it, but let's just call it the arc reactor blasters. We're just going to go add those real quick. Let me get the equipment out for it, and we'll get started on that. Okay, so for the arc reactor type things, basically you want it to be, everybody's going to be a little bit different, just strictly just because it's not really anything that I planned. It's just like, the way I did it was just kind of, you know, you just add like this. So you want to do like, you know, maybe 2 white wool, then do 2 cyan wool, then do the rest of them cyan. You just want to kind of transition them like this. You want to kind of have them evenly spaced out and just kind of add a mixture of white and cyan wool, just like this. Again, there's no real plan or like, you know, way of doing it. I just kind of made it up. So like, it's just like, you know, there's no real scheme to it. Like everybody's going to be different. And that's kind of the cool thing, you know, like if you drop a bucket of water on the floor, not every time you drop the bucket of water is it going to look the same. So that just kind of adds like some individuality to the house, I think. Alright, so once you have it kind of like a good distance, I would say like maybe this is about, what, this is like, I don't know, like 10 blocks. So about 10 blocks, and the bottom one's good. You want to make sure the top one's a little bit further though. As you can see, mine over there I think is a little bit shorter than this, so I want to make them symmetrical with each other. Alright, and then once you've done that, all you gotta do is add some little pixels coming off of it. So on this side, we're just going to make a, you know, white wool coming off of it a little bit randomly, like that. Maybe like right there, then do one in the bottom over here. Then over here, we'll just go ahead and add a little blue one in the air. And again, this does not have to be exactly like mine. This is just one of those things that's just like everybody's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so that's kind of, you know, that looks good to me. So that looks like, you know, some runoff, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, like some, you know, sparks that are coming off of it. And that, I think, looks good just like that. And then do the same thing on this one. So again, just go ahead and add like a random amount of, you know, blue, white, and cyan wool. And just, you know, bring it all the way out. Doesn't have to be an exact amount. You can make it going across the entire map if you want. I'm just trying to make mine match up with the other one because I have like OCD on my world and I have to have them be symmetrical. But you don't have to have them at a certain length. Okay, and then I want to add some white wool right here. Just like this. That's a little too much, I think. You just want to work with it. You just want to work with it and make sure, you know, it's like, you don't want to do too much white wool in some spots. You don't want to do too much, you know, cyan on one spot. So you kind of want to mix it up. I think, you know, if I move this a little bit more this way, replace that with the cyan. See, I'm just working with it. This is what you should be doing. Just kind of mess around with it until you get the exact way you think looks best. Let's go ahead and do it like this. I think that'll look best. There you go. I kind of want to end it with at least one white wool. Alright, so I'm going to move this one a little bit. And yeah, like I said, again, just make sure you're messing with it, and it'll end up looking up the best you can. Alright, and then the next one, the same thing. You want to add some like little pixel pieces that are coming off, just like this. And I'm sorry again, guys, for like not having any instructions for this, but like there's no real instructions for it. It's just kind of like, you know, again, like I said, like I can't tutorial on how to just pour a bucket of water because I didn't have any like system to mine. I just kind of just threw them together. Alright, so that is actually it right there. So I think that looks good just like that. That is the actual house, guys. I forgot to film it. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. So that is actually it, guys, for the house. Now we're going to go ahead and do the interior, which is really, really simple. If you don't plan on doing the interior, if you can hit that like button before you go, I greatly appreciate it. But if you do plan to do the interior, let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so coming in on the inside for the interior, what we're going to do is this, guys. Just go ahead and remove all of the blocks on the floor. So just everything in here. Remove all of this wool too, just because we don't really need that anymore. You can take it back even further. Actually, I didn't realize that. So just like this, take all this dirt out and anything we don't need. So like these corners you can take out. Just anything you can take out to make it as roomy as possible is what you want to do, because there's not a lot of room, but you want to stretch it as much as you can. Alright, and then once you've done that, go around with the spruce planks all the way around the entire exterior, except for when you get to this little arm area, you want to cut it off. Alright, and then once you've done that, fill in this area with the oak planks, because it makes it look a little bit more roomy in my opinion. If you have a night vision potion, I highly recommend you drink that too, just until we light this place up. Alright, and I add my doors real quick. Back again. And then once you've done that, go and fill this area in right here with just oak planks, because it just kind of looks weird if you go in there with spruce planks. Alright, and then once you've done that, come up here. You want to get a ladder. Where I just saw it, there it goes. You want to get a ladder and just take this up. Let's go ahead and add the red wool there, just even though we don't need the red wool there, just to make it a smoother transition into that bedroom area. Take the ladder all the way down, and then up here, same thing. Take this ladder, these two, block areas right here, and take the ladders all the way up until you get to the top. And do the same thing right here. Ooh, I can't even get these ladders to place for some reason. There it goes. Alright, and then once you've done that, go ahead and start adding our interior for the downstairs first real quick. So, for the downstairs, I didn't do anything crazy. It's just, a bed, chest, crafting table, furnace. So, you want to put a chest, we're just going to put red wool back there actually again, because it kind of looks awkward with that space there. Let's go ahead and put the red wool there. Then do a chest, the 2 beds, then I did a crafting table and a furnace, just like that. I think that looks good like that. And then up here you want to do the same thing, but just a little bit different. You want to do the chest, then the bed. Then over here you can go ahead and add a little like survival HUD by adding a chest, and then like crafting table and a furnace, just like that. Okay, so it's like a 3-bedroom house. It's a very small bedroom, but it's it gets the job done. You can even add more storage, maybe like another little chest right here in this corner. You could really stretch some stuff around here if you really wanted to. Okay, you can even do a second floor right here actually, if you really wanted to stretch every little space. Okay, then coming upstairs, get your red wool, and from the chin area, just fill this whole area in with that red wool. And then once you've done that, all we're gonna do is simply this. You're just gonna take these chests, and in the front of the chest, or front of the Iron Man head, add 2 chests on both sides, add a mattress in the middle, turn around, do a chest in the middle. Left side, you want to do a crafting table and a furnace. Then the right side, you want to go ahead and add a anvil and a cauldron, or you can change that up and add whatever you want. Just like this. You can put a brewing stand right here too. And then you want to just close these stairs off, or open these stairs up and put the ladders there. Alright, so that is actually it. Like I said, the interior is really simple. I even put a chest right here, I think, on mine. The chest is really simple. The house is really simple. The interior, it's mainly all about the outside, in my opinion, just because the outside is what people are really looking for when they make these kind of houses. So that is actually it, guys. If you guys can do me a huge favor and hit this with a like, I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new here, please subscribe. I build loads of crazy Minecraft houses all the time, as you can tell, and other stuff on Minecraft as well. So I definitely recommend you subscribe for that stuff. But anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.